Republicans are absolutely panicking over how the presidential debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden is going to go. The Republicans have found themselves in a trap because if you're a viewer of Fox News or you're a follower of Donald Trump, you think that Joe Biden is sleepy and he doesn't know where he is. But that's not the truth. So when Joe Biden gets up on the debate stage tomorrow and destroys Donald Trump in the debate, all of these Republican followers are going to be like, wait, what just happened? I thought that Joe Biden wasn't awake. So now Republicans have the very unfortunate task of trying to lower the bar for Donald Trump, make sure that their expectations are not too high for him in the debate against Joe Biden. So now they're trying to tell the truth about Joe Biden, saying that he's not to be underestimated, that he's actually a pretty great debater when you watch him debate, but it's not going to work. The followers already believe it, and tomorrow is going to go really badly for Republicans on this front.
So obviously that take from TikTok influencer, I put that in air quotations, right? Obviously that take didn't age very well. The alleged paid Harry Sison, and some people have exposed, how he's getting paid. It's through, a group or a company that received funds from the DNC. It's all pretty shady. Honestly, I think he's definitely getting paid personally. That's what I think. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. But anyway, he recently went on went on a show with Pierre Morgan and got absolutely embarrassed. And that's what we're going to be checking out today because, boy, is it bad. You're probably going to laugh like that guy you saw at the very beginning of this video clip. But with that being said, let's dive in.
Listen, Harry, you think Biden won last night?
One person.
Yeah, no, I did, definitely. On the substance of the conversation, Biden won. His policy was pragmatic, it was logical, and Donald Trump just lied the entire time, is incapable of telling the truth, is incapable of actually laying out policy. He didn't talk about how he's going to make the American people's lives better. He just, said that, January 6th didn't happen. He talked about the election. He said that overturning Roe was a great thing and forcing 10-year-old girls to give birth is a fantastic thing. That was Donald Trump's debate. So on the substance of the conversation, Joe Biden absolutely prevailed.
Right, but the problem you've got is I saw the CNN fact checkers on Joe Biden's public statements last night, and it was just untruth after untruth after untruth.
Oh, I'm not sitting here I'm not sitting here telling you that Joe Biden tells the truth every single time he speaks, or that he gets every single number right and every single statistic right.
He gets most of them wrong.
That's not true. To compare Joe Biden's lies to Donald Trump's lies is laughable. Trump told over 30,000 lies during his presidency, averaging around 20 a day, and he showed that last night when he lied about every single thing he talked about. Lying doesn't win debates.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you're going to use lying or misleading the public with statements against a candidate, you've got to make sure your own candidate speaks with unforked tongue. I mean, Biden, barely a week goes by without him saying something which is immediately proven to be untrue. I mean, only like 2 weeks ago, he was claiming that his uncle was shot down and eaten by cannibals. None of that ever happened. He wasn't shot down and he wasn't eaten by cannibals. I mean, I just think that this idea that Trump's the only one whose statements can't be trusted is just not true. Last night, again and again, listen, I'm not denying that Trump made a series of untrue statements. He does that. He barrels through and hopes that the big messages about the border and so on kick home, and they probably do, actually, with many Americans. But if Biden's going to play the lying card as a pro-Biden thing against Trump, he's got to tell the truth and get his numbers right. He can't then have a fact check from CNN, which was painful to watch last night. It went on and on and on. Almost every statistic he came out with was completely wrong.
Yeah, and I talked about that as well. Immediately after the debate, CNN actually came out and fact-checked Joe Biden. I'm going to see if I can find that real quick because it was honestly surprising. I had never seen, mainstream media do anything like that. So, to me, it was obvious. They're all in cahoots to get rid of this guy. Because we all know Joe Biden hasn't been telling the truth since day one. So why all of a sudden now are you fact-checking this guy? You know, like, great, you're fact-checking him, but why now? You know, and, you know, that's the thing that kind of runs through my mind. You know, like, I see people, you know, excited that he's getting fact-checked and whatnot, and it's just like, wait a minute, pump the brakes here for a second. They could have been fact-checking him, and they haven't. You know, so why all of a sudden now do you have this type of video clip coming out? Check it out.
Some of them, he said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. He said, or at least strongly suggested, unemployment was at 15% when he took office. It was actually 6.4. He said Trump wants to get rid of Social Security. Trump doesn't. He said billionaires pay 8.2% in taxes. It's much higher.
Like, why all of a sudden now? And the thing that I came up with is, like I said, they want this guy to go, but he won't. More like, well, and I said this before, I think it's more so Jill who doesn't want him to leave. You know, I'm guessing, right? I don't have any evidence to back this up. I just want to make that clear. Right, this is one of the few times that I don't have any clips to back it up, right? But I think they went to Joe Biden and tried to convince him, like, hey, just step down, step away, you know, walk away. We'll paint you as a hero, yada yada, you know, the whole nine. And I'm sure Biden was like, hey, you know, I'm going to take some time to think about it. And Jill kind of reiterated that. And when they got in private, Jill was like, there's no way that you're stepping down. There's no way. You know, she went through her whole little spiel with Biden privately. And when they came back, they told them no. And I think it was more so Jill's idea to say no. But that's just my assumption. You know, what do y'all think? Let's jump back in.
Yeah, but Pierce, I mean, let's be real here. Like, if you're lying,
did you see the one where he said
one sec, Vinny, you look like a. Relax, buddy. If you're getting a number incorrect, right? If you're getting a number incorrect, that's like a very
so 7
small
years ago, 7
hold
years
on now,
when
I'm
Trump
not done
was
yet.
in,
I'm
how
not
old
done
were you,
yet.
10
Excuse
years
me,
old?
you right there.
Were you 10 years old, Harry?
What was that?
How old were you when Trump won? 10 years old? 7
Vinny,
years ago, you were 10
you
years
look like
old,
you're about
bro.
to explode.
You don't know
Relax.
what the hell you're talking about.
Take a breather.
That's not
Take
relevant.
Hassan was right to
His
call.
age is irrelevant.
He's entitled to his
Hassan,
opinion.
listen. I know Hassan's a big fan of mine. He
You're
was
10
right to
years
call you
old.
out for looking like you're about to explode. It's okay, no problem here.
Yeah, you were 10 years old when Trump won.
You have to level.
You were 10 years old.
And what are you, like 80? Like, relax, buddy. Take a breather. You're okay. I promise. It's okay.
Ooh, that was so good.
Zen, yoga. Yoga's good. Yoga's good.
Can I just say, it doesn't. I don't actually care how old either of you are. Let's get back to the real reality, which is I care about the age of the president because he looks like he's 180. So, Harry, I'm just bemused. 33% of people watching it apparently think Biden won. I don't know. Harry, hang on. Harry, I don't know how anybody honestly can watch that debate and honestly conclude that Biden won. You'd have to be so deeply embedded in the Democrat partisan tank that you can't crawl out long enough to see the wood for the trees.
So first thing, I want to respond to your lie comment. I think that, yeah, we want both candidates to be honest, but we have to weigh the lies here. Like, if Joe Biden gets a statistic incorrect, that is vastly different than Donald Trump still pushing lies about January 6th and about the election. So that's first and foremost. But second of all, as I said, the substance of the conversation is what matters. Trump can scream the loudest, he can lie the most. That doesn't mean you win a debate. When Joe Biden's up there saying, like, you know what, my policy is pragmatic. I want to give women their reproductive rights. I want to continue to lower healthcare costs. I want to expand healthcare for veterans more and more. That's pragmatic policy. That's logical.
But Harry, the problem. Okay, but Harry, here's the problem.
Substance.
Harry, here's the problem. He couldn't articulate his views in a way that anyone could really understand. And secondly, and more crucially, in Trump, he has an opponent who tells a lot of untruths. And what you want the President of the United States to do is to be quick-witted enough and sharp enough and intelligent enough to, every time he does that, leap on it and tell the American people why what he said was untrue. Biden was simply incapable of doing any of that. And that's what a lot of Democrats have said overnight is the most problematic thing. It's not that he's old or anything. It's that he was incapable of either articulating policy in a way that resonated or holding Trump to account. And if you can't do that with a candidate like Trump, there's no hope.
Yeah, except Piers, if
think
that
it's
was
worse
the
than that.
the method that Biden was.
Hang on a second. I'll come to you in
Go
one
ahead,
sec.
Hassan.
Just
Go
let
ahead.
Harry respond to that.
Sorry.
Well, all right. What I was going to say is, if
ahead,
that's
Harry,
the
sorry.
method that Biden was going to go with, then all of his all of his answers would just be fact checking Trump. Every 2 minutes he has to be like, okay, Trump lied about this, and that's not any way to win a voter over. Biden, I would think it's more of the moderator's job to fact check, as opposed to Biden dedicating his entire debate to fact checking. Biden should be laying out the policy, which he did. He seemed pretty coherent when he called out Donald Trump for assaulting and raping E. Jean Carroll and for
What
being
did
a
you think?
convicted
Okay,
felon. People don't like to talk about that.
Excruciating moment when Joe Biden basically froze and mumbled his words. It said complete gibberish, and then Donald Trump just said, "I don't think even he knows what he just said." Let's just watch this clip, and I'm going to ask you to explain to me what he said.
Dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if he doesn't care, he doesn't like the military at all, and he doesn't care about our veterans. Nobody been worse. I had the highest approval rating for veterans taking care of the VA.
I mean, Harry, what was Biden saying there?
It's a very nice, selectively edited clip. I like it. Yeah, I don't think that every person ever is going to speak perfectly. So highlighting Biden not speaking
No,
perfectly.
but I watched the whole thing, Harry. I watched the whole thing.
Broader conversation.
I watched the whole 90 minutes. I don't come at this as on the left or right. I'm not a member of either party. I don't promote either party over the other. I simply come at it as a journalist. I didn't understand 90% of what Biden was saying. I did understand Trump, and I understood that he was misleading me a lot of the time, but also understood on the big picture messaging, which he kept ramming down the viewers' throats about the chaos at the border, the state of the economy, particularly on Black Americans and Latino Americans who are gravitating to Trump, and so on and so on. On those big picture messages, he was hitting home hard. I don't know what Biden's messages were. I don't know what he was talking about.
Pierce, did you not understand President Biden when he talked about how the PACT Act now has 1 million people signing up for it?
No,
now
not
getting
really.
Did you not understand
I
him?
didn't know.
Did you not understand him when he talked
No,
about
because he
the largest
spoke in this
investment
kind
in
of
fighting climate
weird,
change in world history?
croaky. No, because he spoke in a weird. Look, I'd understood it if you had basically translated him in real time. I'd have understood it. If Gavin Newsom had done the translation for us and articulated what Biden was trying to say, I'd have understood it. But Biden spoke for 90 minutes in a croaky, monotone, drone-like manner that honestly, for most average viewers watching, was utterly incomprehensible. And the problem he's got is that Trump sounded and looked exactly like he did in 2020 and 2016, like he's always done.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, he did.
He did not. He did not sound exactly like he did in 2020.
I promise you, go back and watch Trump
He
in
was
2016.
rambling incoherently.
Go back and watch Trump in 2016.
Incorrect.
Compared to last night, it's the same guy. You may not like him, but he's an embellisher and he'll tell lies.
I love how they try to accuse Trump of just like mumbling and stumbling over his words. Like, come on out. You can keep up with the lie. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to cheer you on. Because, you know, and this is the thing. They want to get rid of Joe, right? That's clearly obvious. I think they've wanted to get rid of him for a while now, which is part of the reason why I think they had this debate so early. Like, we've never seen a presidential debate this early. Typically, you know, it's 6 weeks to, 2 months out from the election. We're 5 months out from the election. Why are we having a debate now? You know, and I think that is the reason. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to cheer Harry on. Keep defending Biden, please. Make Biden look a little bit better so that the Democrat establishment have to lie in the bed that they have made. And that is the Joe Biden and Kamala Harris bed. You made the bed. Now lie in it. Don't try to, flip the script now and change it up now. Like, no, you've been telling us for all these years, right, that Joe Biden is perfectly fine. He's great. He's okay. He's as sharp as a tack. Karine Jean-Pierre said he's a mentor to her, right? and now we realized what Joe Biden actually is. And it's nothing even close to that. As a matter of fact, if anybody says that Joe Biden is the one running the show, you might want to go get checked out. He ain't running the show. I can just about guarantee that. Somebody else is running the show. That is for sure. They just bring Joe Biden out to show face. That is it. He ain't running the show. Hell no. But yeah, it's just absolutely insane. But like I said, I'm gonna be cheering Harry on. You know, I want him to prop up Biden just a little bit, right? Just enough to where the establishment can't get rid of him. And come November, it's gonna be Joe Biden versus Trump on that ticket, and nobody else. Y'all agree? Let me know.
But he'll ram home the messages, and one of his trump cards, literally, is that he can hit home messaging in a way that resonates with people at home.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's certainly not the same guy when the Trump in 2024. The Trump in 2024 is talking about boats sinking and like sharks and batteries and all that stuff, and he's telling these insane lies about the election. I mean, in 2020 he was claiming that China was bringing in bamboo ballots. I mean, this is like your crazy uncle at Thanksgiving who's screaming in the corner. This is not a presidential candidate. This is a dude who just rambles incoherently on the debate stage, as he did last night.
And do you believe, Harry, finally, do you believe in your heart that Joe Biden is the right person to lead the Democrats into the election in November? And do you believe he can win?
He can win. He's going to win. And as Vice President Harris said, we don't let a 90-minute performance negate 3.5 years of progress. Biden's the only man who has beaten Donald Trump, and he's going to do it again. And I'm looking forward to convicted felon Donald Trump facing justice.
Why are you the only person I've heard in the last 24 hours who's not crying because the performance was so horrendous on the Democrat side?
I don't know. You have to talk to the people that you're surrounded by.
I'm talking about Thomas Friedman and Frank Bruni and all the Democrats.
That's great.
All the Democrats supporting writers for the New York Times and so on. Literally all of them, Van Jones, CNN, they're all crying because it was so bad it brought tears to their eyes. You appear to have watched a pretty different debate. You're happy. You thought it was great. He's going to win a triumphant victory. No, he's not, Harry. Wake up.
Yeah, I don't have the mentality of like, oh, something didn't go our way, now we have to pout and cry. I have the mentality of, well, if something didn't go our way and that's the way it's perceived, let's get to work. Get out there and get a clipboard and go get some signatures and go door to door. Don't sit here and sit in our own sadness. Let's get to work, as opposed to writing in the New York Times that it didn't go the way we wanted it to.
I agree with you. Actually, that is the right response.
1,000%. The first time I've ever agreed with anything that Harry Sison has ever said, and I've said this before about, us Trump supporters. Like, it's not enough to simply complain about what they're doing to Republicans and Donald Trump. Like, don't just sit online, right, and comment about, hey, well, they're doing this and they're like, do something about it. Right? There's a million and one things that you could possibly do. Simply being open to just having more conversations with folks about politics so they're educated on what the truth actually is, because obviously the media has been lying, and this whole debate was one perfect example of it. They've been telling us Joe Biden was great, when in reality, he's not. We all saw it. All of America saw it. The entire world saw it, as a matter of fact. Yeah, that's one small thing you could do. You could hit up Scott Presler, right? I've shared his X account plenty of times. You can hit up Scott Presler and get in contact with him to start getting people registered to vote in your local area. As a matter of fact, here's Scott Presler's page once again. All right, right here on X. You can hit him up right here on X, get in contact with him, and start registering people to vote in this upcoming election. Right? There's a million. I just, me personally, I feel the same way that Harry does. Right? If something goes wrong, all right, you can say something. Obviously, you're allowed to. It's America, of course. But like, I'm just not the type of person that's just going to be sitting here complaining and not actually doing something. Actions speak louder than words. Right? We all know the old saying. So. Who said it? I want to say it was Marshawn Lynch, the running back for the former running back for the Seattle Seahawks. Marshawn Lynch. Some of my sports folks know who Marshawn Lynch is. Former running back for the Seattle Seahawks. Actually, really great running back, to be honest with you. But he said once in an interview or something, he said, I'm about that action, boss. He ain't say it that way. He said, I'm about that action, boss. And like, I feel the same way. Like, I'm about action. Like, I'm not about to just sit here and just like, yeah, of course I make videos, but like, as it pertains to just sitting around complaining continuously, like, I'm gonna try to do something about it rather than just always just complain. Like, if you're gonna complain, do something as well. Do something, you know? Put your money or your time where your mouth is. So, hey, listen, I 100% agree with Harry. That's probably the only and last time that I will ever agree with anything that Harry Sison has to say. But that one, I will admit, I do, 1,000%. Do y'all agree? Let me know in the comment section. But, yeah, I just wanted to show y'all that because it was absolutely hilarious watching, Harry try to make all types of excuses for what we all witnessed. Absolutely hilarious. But as always, y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.